It's been years.
Good morning, ghosties and ghoulies. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy you could join me here today. I have something a little bit interesting today for you. I'm going to be doing a new series of divination. I'm going to keep up with the monthly tarot, but this is another source of divination and a different technique. What this is a pick-a-book Stichomancy. Now, what Stichomancy is a form of divination that goes back over 3,000 years, and what you would traditionally do is grab a book sight unseen from a shelf, open it to a random page, and you would use your finger or a needle traditionally. I'll be using this gigantic hat pin today in order to, with your eyes closed, pick a phrase or a word or even sometimes a whole paragraph. And you'll read that and you'll try to interpret it as what the spirits might be trying to say to you. So there is definitely a psychic aspect to it, connecting with the words and trying to figure out exactly what the messages might be behind them. So what I've done is I have 3 books that I've picked out of my library at random, and I've covered the covers so that you can't be influenced by what the books are, because it may not be a book you necessarily like, or there might be books in here that you absolutely love, so we don't want you to be influenced by any of that. So what I'm going to do is insert a picture here of the 3 books and just take a few minutes and try to connect with whatever one is drawing you.
The music flows in the garden where forget-me-nots grow. Flowers bloom and the flowers die. June soon
If you're drawn to a particular one, there will be timestamps down below so that your reading will, just like the tarot readings, be timestamped, so you can go right to it and not listen to all of the Stichomancy. The other thing about this reading is this, unlike the tarot readings that are happening on a monthly basis, so it's like for November, these are timeless readings. I'll be doing timeless tarot as well. Down in a couple of weeks I'll be starting a series with different aspects of life, which will be timeless tarot, because in the spirit world time doesn't work in the way that it works here on the physical plane. Time is a very human invention. It doesn't exist in the spirit world in the same way that it exists here. So the thought behind this process of timeless readings is that this will reach you when you're drawn to it, and you will hear it at a time when you're supposed to hear it. No matter whether you don't see this video until next year, or if you see it tomorrow, this is when you are supposed to hear this message. So be aware of that. And of course, I will be actually starting a series of tarot around this with different aspects of life in timeless tarot as well. But I will be keeping up with the monthly readings as well, so don't panic. You're not going to miss out on those at all either. Okay, I am going to start with book number 1. So this is exactly how you do it. I'm just going to set those ones aside. You just take your random book, take a pen, stick it inside, and open it to that page. Now, without looking at the page, I'm going to... Okay. Once again, they drew their cloaks tightly around them, rearranged their scarves, pulled on their gloves, and then followed Katie Bell and a friend out to the pub. Now, that is interesting because winter is coming, to quote, everyone from that other show we won't mention. The book that I pulled for you for number 1 was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now, what I'm immediately struck by is that it is going into winter, and this is about getting warm and putting on your winter garb. So this has a message for you, and I would say it's one of preparedness, that if you're not prepared for winter, now is the time to start doing it. If you read this and it's the summertime, if you're getting this as a timeless, it's timeless Stichomancy, in the summer, it probably means that you need to start putting away some money and putting away some resources, because you're going to go through a rough period. You're going to go through a period of winter, metaphorically, if this is not going into winter when you see it. But I have a suspicion that most of the people who see this reading are going to be this month sometime, so it's definitely a message to get ready for winter. I think there is a message in there that it might be a particularly harsh one. The other thing that I'm reading in it and extrapolating from it is the need to feel community, and the need to feel, because this is about a group of people a group of friends going out together in the winter. And so there might be a feeling of having been isolated. This might be a feeling of having the need to see your inner circle, to see your little personal bubble, and to actually have more interaction and feel social. So being social is going to be important, and it's going to help you get through those winter months and that period of isolation or desolation that it feels like you're needing to prepare for. So that is your Stichomancy from the Harry Potter book. The book itself actually gives me a message, and this book is all about magic. It's about embracing the fantastical. It's about bringing more. I would say if you were drawn to number one, you need more magic in your life, and that you are ready to go to Hogwarts in a way. Embrace things that are magical. Embrace the magic of the upcoming season. Definitely, if you're heading into winter, there's a feeling of wanting to. There is a feeling around this reading about wanting to isolate, and that's why that message of being in company is in there. Embracing magic is part of that. Embrace the season. Whatever you celebrate, and you don't have to be, Christian to celebrate. There are a million celebrations in a million different cultures at this time of year, so it's definitely about embracing culture, and it's about embracing the season to come, but being prepared, making sure you stay warm. So stay warm, stay healthy, and that's your reading. So book number two. Okay, so again, I'll show you how this is done. You simply take the needle, stick it in the side of the book, flip it open. Okay, I will read the title of the book for you after. Stay calm, stay alive. Necessity really is the mother of invention. This is a lesson Jonathan Clement, 13-year-old Calgary teenager, learned the hard way. Little did he know, when his father, Gary, took him on his first bow hunting trip, a freak accident would harm his dad, but Jonathan's own quick thinking would save his father's life. I'm not going to read any further into that, because I think the message is really, really clear, and it's coming through really clear that you might be facing some adversity coming up in the next few weeks. And the message is certainly 100% clear. Stay calm. Gather yourself in on yourself and stay calm. Breathe through it. You will get through it. It'll look bad, but if you can calm yourself, you will be able to do everything that you need to come through on the other side of it. So I would 100% say that is your reading for this particular Stichomancy. And it doesn't matter what time of year you're getting it, or if you're not getting this message until a couple of years from now. You're hearing it now because you need to hear it now. And the message is very, 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 very clear. Stay calm and breathe through it. You will find a way to come through it. Times are going to be hard. If you stay calm, you will deal with it. And the book that you picked is actually Les Strauss' Survival. Or Survive, rather, sorry. And this is definitely a book I grabbed off the shelf at random for you guys. And it is about survival, but I think the number one thing that he reiterates in this book time and time again is the ability to stay calm. If you can stay calm, everything will work out okay. So don't worry too much, just make sure you're breathing. So that was your Stichomancy. Third one. Okay. Let's see what we have for you guys. Oh, I went right to this. Interesting. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Which is interesting. I think that this has to do with, counsel is about learning from other people, getting information from other people, being counseled, but it's also about you drawing out what someone else needs to hear. It's about, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. So it's not immediately accessible, so people might not be saying what they're feeling, and you may need to dig for their feelings. That's the feeling I'm getting from it. Now, I am not, I would barely call myself a Christian at this point. I'm definitely not a theologian in relation to the Bible, which is this book. This is a book that is very, very precious to me. This was given to me by my mother when I was about 5 years old. It has my little name in gold on the bottom of it. It's ancient, it's falling apart. I would definitely say that what you're being told in that passage for this reading in particular is that people are going to need to talk, but you may need to draw them out. It may be deeper. Feelings and emotions may be running deeper than they seem to on the present and on the placid surface. There's a lot of stuff going on underneath for people. Not just other people, but for yourself as well. So you may not even be accessing what is actually happening to you internally. You may be glossing the surface, and it may be time to go to some of those deeper levels and draw out what you're feeling, because you can't heal anything that you can't see. Things will fester under the surface. So I think that that's what this reading is about for you. It's not only about your healing, it's about other people's healings, but it's almost like this might be the time if you have been thinking about therapy, or you've been thinking about going in that kind of direction, that it might be the time to seek out some kind of group type situation where you can help each other, or even just having a good friend where you can help each other. But there's definitely a feeling of having to draw those things to the surface. That is what I feel the reading is about. So whether that passage is actually 100% about that in the theological aspect, you'd have to ask your particular pastor. I'm not a theologian in this manner. But for me, what my spirit guides would tell me about this passage in relation to Stichomancy is exactly what I'm saying. It's a need to go under the surface with feelings and go under the surface of what's happening, to draw out, to counsel the person, or to be counseled. You need to have that stuff on the surface. It's time for you to have that come to the surface. So that is what I think your reading is for this passage in this book. I am really looking forward. And of course, like I said, that was the Holy Bible. And you could use any book. Now, this is Stichomancy. I've been calling it Stichomancy because that is the proper name for usage of literature in this manner. However, when you use a Bible, it is actually called Bibliomancy. So if this is something you're interested in doing with a Bible, you're actually practicing Bibliomancy instead of Stichomancy. But I grabbed some random books today, so that's what I came up with. I am so excited to do this series. I think it's going to be a fun one. I certainly enjoy the challenge of interpreting the passages that we come up with. And I think that there was some useful interpretation in there. If this is something that you want to see more of, I would absolutely love to do it. I do think I'm going to keep doing it on a semi-regular basis. Not all the time, but every once in a while. And again, I'm going to be starting some timeless tarot as well, on different aspects of life, like love, marriage, relationship, career, life path, that kind of thing as well, which will be timeless readings, so it won't matter when you get them, as opposed to November readings and October readings and stuff like that. So, but I will still be doing those. In any case, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that there was something illuminating in it for you. I will be doing it again, like I said, and until next time, stay safe, and don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night, because they're there in the light too.
In the garden where forget-me-nots grow.